Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Zeez podcast. We're here. It's episode 11. Kind of crazy that we've done 10 full episodes already. But we're here with episode 11. We have RaceCar627 and Emmy joining me back once again. Why don't you say hi, guys? How's it going?
Hello, everyone. How are you? Fine, thank you.
No, that was cringe. Stop. Stop right
No,
now.
it's
Stop.
hilarious. That's hilarious. You have to say the funny. You have to say the word. Go. Keep going.
Oh my god.
No, I wish I was a bird. No, okay, whatever.
No, it's oh my god. I wish. No, then he comes over. I wish I was a
I
bird.
was a
And then she's
bird.
like,
Okay.
nah, English or whatever. She's like, why are you speaking English?
Okay. Yeah, I love that clip, dude. I just love that. I wish I was a bird or I were a bird. I don't know. I just think that's so funny. Anyway, what about you, Emmy? How are you doing?
I'm depressed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fine, thank you.
I'm fine.
No, I'm actually pretty all right. I was kind of low on energy because I'm just coming back from after work, but I think I'm otherwise. I'm feeling ready for this podcast.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I heard you just got a bagel, so let's get into it. What do we want to start
no
off with?
longer
I know
have a
you
bagel.
have you already speedrun bagel, bagel speedrun. So I know Raceman has quite a few topics that you'd like to talk about. Would you like to start?
Actually, you know what I think we should talk about? Emmy's has a burnt bagel. Emmy's depressed and sad. Emmy also had something else burn. If you want to talk about your mother.
Okay. Whoa, jeez, out of context. Holy. Okay.
Oh my
Please
god!
elaborate, Emmy, before this gets concerning.
You're literally you're going to kill me. You're gonna kill me, RaceCar. No, my computer actually decided to burn up.
And this is your new
unfortunately,
computer
last
that you
night.
just got.
Yes, this is my new computer that I just got. You know how we were talking about me getting a computer? Well, it was great for around 2 weeks, and then it decided to literally burn up. It exploded. No, not really.
No, it totally
Well,
did. Yeah, don't
not
tell them.
clickbait.
It's the YouTube clickbait. We have to have the clickbait in here.
I'm
Tell them
telling
it
you,
exploded.
it's gonna have the thumbnail with me pointing at what I think caused it to
The
explode.
gasping Wojak, right? Or like where he's pointing with the mouth open agape. That's you
Yep.
to the computer on fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's me. So basically, for a while now, I've been using this Switch. So I want to use the same keyboard for when my laptop is plugged into my monitor as everything else. So I just want to push a button and it would switch between my computer and my laptop. Which one would be using my keyboard, right? Have you guys heard of those or?
No, absolutely not.
A keyboard?
It's a KVM switch.
Okay.
So it pretty much it lets two computers share the same keyboard. You just you click a button and it sets which computer is using the keyboard at that time.
Does the
So if
keyboard
I,
have to be a Bluetooth one?
No, it's just a regular USB keyboard.
But what's the point of that?
It's just so that if you have a mouse and a keyboard and you have a laptop and you plug it into your monitor, right? And you don't want to unplug your mouse and keyboard from your desktop onto your laptop, then you could just hit a button.
I see.
Does that
Okay,
work
yeah, I
with like a Raspberry Pi? With projects in the past, that was so annoying, having to swap all the cords.
Yeah, it does. It works with anything that accepts USB.
Oh, awesome.
I see. Okay, at first I was just I thought you just plug in a new keyboard and be like, I'll use this one instead for no other reason because I can.
Well, I mean, I could use my laptop keyboard, but that would be dumb since I have a really nice keyboard. But anyways, it was working fine for a while. I got one that uses USB-C and it kind of transfers. So USB-C kind of carries everything. So it was kind of charging my laptop at the same time it was connected to a monitor. At the same time, it was also a USB hub because the monitor has USB hubs built into it. So it was just kind of everything all in one. I was like, this is great. I can literally just press a button and I can connect my mouse, my keyboard, my monitor, and my camera and my mic all at once. Yeah, so that's where things kind of went wrong because it was working fine for a while. I would just click and it would work fine for like a couple weeks. And then I was like, okay, work's done. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play that new Baldur's Gate game, and I'm gonna click this button, and my computer didn't like that because I started smelling smoke immediately, and I was like, darn, this is bad. And I turned off my computer. So you're telling me,
what I'm hearing is that Baldur's Gate blew up your computer.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate blew up my computer. It's totally Baldur's Gate's fault. That or working on the weekends. I was working on the weekends. It was one of those two, or maybe both of them combined. I should never work on the weekends when I have Baldur's Gate installed on my computer.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about your computer. You did say you're getting it, like, you have the warranty, so you can get it replaced. Obviously, you didn't pay for it.
Actually, I don't know if it's covered under the warranty because, like, like, I have to send it in and they'll decide if it's covered because, like, because the warranty is supposed to cover, like, something that's their fault. I feel like, I don't know if they will say, like, oh, this is technically our fault or not. I don't know, because it was just...
Is that really the case? I thought most protection plans were because of things like if something happens and something goes wrong.
I don't know. I'd have to check on that, but most of the time I think, like, the warranty covers, like, manufacturer errors. It doesn't cover, like if you plugged in a mouse that, like, destroyed your computer. I'm not sure of the warranty.
This was a PC you built, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the warranty would be over the one specific component that failed?
Yeah, it would be over the motherboard, which is where it was plugged into. So I would try to claim that. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have to wait like a couple weeks.
When the motherboard burns, I don't know much about PCs. Bear with me here. How many other components does that kill?
It shouldn't kill any because they're all on different power lines.
Okay, so they all short before any sort of current or issue.
I mean, it could potentially short all the USBs. Like, if the motherboard burns, it depends on which part, because each part is, like, connected to a different part of the computer. Like, your GPU is connected to the GPU part, and your USBs are connected to the USB part. So they're all on, like, kind of like their own lines. So, like, something blowing up on one line shouldn't affect the other line unless something really bad has happened. Also, like, the USB shouldn't normally blow up because they're supposed to normally shut off.
I like how you're still referring to it as blowing up.
I mean, what else am I supposed to say? It blew up.
A complete
it had some smoke come
failure.
Out. You didn't know it actually blasted an entire wall through your apartment.
Smoke?
That's what I heard.
It was like...
Use the technical term, man. That's not smoke. That's magic dust from the programming, okay? We all know this.
It's Bill Gates' spirit.
Part of Bill Gates' soul that he puts inside of every motherboard.
Yeah, that's how Windows works.
Yeah.
It's actually just a tiny Bill Gates inside of the computer.
Everyone thinks that Bill Gates lives a luxurious life, but he just separates parts of his soul into every computer, every copy of Windows that you guys have.
See, I'm pretty sure when Bill was making it, he didn't want to call the motherboard, he wanted to call it a billboard, but there was already something called a billboard. So he named it after his darling mother.
My mother. Anyways, does that support the theory that every copy of Windows is personalized?
I don't know. Is every copy of Bill personalized?
Definitely. It depends on what part of the soul you got, man.
You could have a more aggressive part of the soul, and that's why yours blew up.
Yeah.
No, he just really didn't like USBs. He was like, I can't take this anymore. I can't take it. And he just dies. That was the smell. That was the smell of Bill Gates' soul.
Well, speaking of Bill Gates and not Bill Gates and computer things, guys, we are on a lovely platform called YouTube.com, right? At the moment. At least most people watching this are.
I thought it was just called You.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we're on YouTube, and you know what, guys? I have something to complain about, and you may have noticed it. You may have noticed it. They've changed how when you search something in the search bar, like how the results come up. Have you noticed this?
What they have?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
It's bad.
I mean, my past few days has been pretty terrible.
It really sucks. This is probably like the worst search engine feature they now have. So let me give you an example here. Like, for instance, if you were to search any term, I don't know, Neon Genesis Evangelion Garfield. All right, like you were to search that, you would get maybe 3 actual results, and then you get a row of shorts that are related kind of to what you searched for. You then get 3 more results, a row of shorts, 3 more results, a row of shorts, and then you would get you'd get this thing called People Also Watch, and it has nothing to do with what you searched.
I know, yeah.
And it is just full of results and sometimes even shorts of unrelated things completely. And then at the very bottom of, I don't know if it's like the first page or like when you get the second page, instead of continuing to give you more results, it just pops up another For You page. Right?
I know. I actually know exactly what you're talking about. It's actually been
I'm just noticing this.
It's been really annoying, actually. I completely agree with you, because like sometimes I've been looking for like specific videos, and then it will completely show me like anything that I'm not looking for. I have honestly gone into just incognito like YouTube just so that I can get rid of some of that like For You and People Also Watch stuff, so I can just see like the actual results. Because like,
wow, yeah, is it it's algorithm based that they're generating? I thought it would come up for any search. I mean,
it is, but it's like less. Because I don't really have, you're not logged into an account when you like go on incognito, so it's completely like you're a new viewer. So if you look up a new topic from incognito YouTube, it'll have like less of that, but it's still there. It still is there, and it's really frustrating when you're like looking for like a specific thing, and you have to like just go through all this like trash that you don't care about. I shouldn't say trash, but something that you're not looking for.
No, dude, it's 3 rows of shorts, and then they're
just really pushing the shorts.
You really only get like 6 to 9 results on the first page, besides a bunch of garbage. It's just crazy. I don't know what they were thinking when making this change, because it pushes so many things at you that aren't what you're looking for, or they're shorts. So like most of the time when I'm searching a YouTube video, especially on PC, I'm definitely not looking for any shorts at all. One thing I did notice is that on PC you can almost kind of disable shorts. So like if you click the X, it goes away for 30 days. That's what it said to me today, at least. On the homepage.
I haven't got that yet.
So if you go to the homepage on PC, there's a little X where the shorts are at, like in the upper right hand corner, and then it say like disappearing for 30 days. You'll scroll down, find the second set, and you press X, and it'll say it's gone for 30 days. I refreshed my homepage. Oh yeah,
I just saw that. It says shelf will be hidden for 30 days, like exactly a month.
So
that's cool.
I refreshed my page, and it wasn't there. So we're hoping.
Well, why only 30 days? Like, why can't we just get rid of it forever?
I don't know.
Like, if I wanted the shorts, I would. I don't know.
Because YouTube wants to push those shorts, dude. No, I get that. YouTube's actually been pushing out some new stuff. They actually recently, just a week ago. They've been adding in ads to like streams now. Apparently, ads weren't really a big part of streams on YouTube. Really, like I think if you click on a stream, you'd get like a single ad, and they wouldn't play throughout the video or the stream. Now they do, kind of like how Twitch does it, where they like have you can like insert ad breaks or whatever. You can do that now. Like if you want to take a quick break while streaming, you can insert an ad break, or you can have YouTube just do it for you. I just thought that was like pretty interesting.
I have some incredible news.
What's that?
Ever since doing the X like hiding for 30 days thing, I'm on my mobile version of YouTube. I have scrolled 30, 40, 50 videos. I have not had any shorts pop up.
Yo, wait, is that when searching, or is that just recommended?
Yeah, recommended, like the homepage.
Okay, what about when you search though?
Okay, searching probably is gonna.
That's the other big question.
Yeah, we'll look.
Because like when you search now, there's just literally so many shorts. It's dumb.
The shorts are all there when you search. It's 3 results.
It's
shorts,
just recommended. All right.
3 result, 4, 5. Well, short. Okay, yeah, but there's a lot of shorts still.
Yeah.
But when you search things, but no, my homepage is the shorts are gone. I'm so happy. There's a shorts tab for a reason, y'all. Like, so
literally.
Nice. Okay, well,
we have to contain all of them inside the shorts tab.
There's a video I watched recently too on some algorithm changes where YouTube started this thing where they're trying to promote small creators. However, they're pushing small creator videos to people who aren't in their demographic. So let's say that like a small finance channel were to start up, they'd be like the people like that who are just like looking for gaming content are going to pop up with that, but they don't give a crap about finance, right? Or like older people be recommended stuff like that's for younger people, right? I don't know, like a Zeez PUBG video, for instance.
Dang.
You don't know that. You don't know that. There could be a lot of older people watching Zeez.
I'm just,
Come on.
In general, it's not for like 40-year-olds. There is like a 40-year-old person algorithm, like
I'm just
like Gen Xers and like boomers and stuff. Like they have like their own like algorithm, man.
No, that's so true. Dude, if I go on like my dad's YouTube, it'd probably all be about like politics and guns.
No, usually it's like cars. There's a lot of car channels old people are into.
No, actually, my dad loves that. My dad literally is obsessed with like watching people shoot things with guns and like car videos, politics videos. That's like all. He doesn't like watch anything that I would ever make.
I have two friends who are into firearms, right? And they were watching firearm videos, and it was like, dude, the algorithm is bad, man. If you like start looking at firearm videos, you get pushed down like the right-wing pipeline like so fast. It's so crazy.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, they immediately start recommending you stuff from the Daily Wire and all those Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens and all that stuff. Like it's immediately.
Ben Sharpie?
Yeah, Ben Sharpie, the man, anti-Barbie man. Okay, he hates the Barbie movie.
Anti-Barbie man. Is that what
he made like didn't he make like a 40-minute review on Barbie saying that it was trash?
Yeah, he did.
That's funny.
I will say though, like the algorithm can recommend like really contentious content like that.
Oh, it tries to. It really tries to, just like every
because people click on that stuff.
It gets clicks. Yeah,
anger creates engagement.
I had to purge all of them from my. It's like a virus. It like infects your like YouTube page. The moment you click on one, there's like more of them. So I had to like purge my entire YouTube page of them. Actually, the last time you asked me, I didn't say what was on my YouTube page because I had all these politics videos because I clicked on one. And then there was like a bunch of them that showed up. And I'm like, I'm going to have to purge all of these from existence. And now all I get is math videos. I only get math videos now, everyone. And also random anime clips that I watch.
You're telling me you don't get Zeez PUBG in your recommended, Emmy?
I did. I did.
Oh, okay.
I saw when you released the 1000 arts. I'm a true fan. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm such a true fan. I already watched your Mario video before this podcast because it was the top of my page.
My Mario. Oh yeah. The Mario's voice actor stepping down. That's right.
I watched the video. I already did. I watched all 4.5 minutes of it.
It was 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. It was a short video, okay?
No, yeah, that's a good topic. I kind of already talked about it in that video, but yeah, Mario's voice actor, Charles Martinet, he's stepping down from the role after like over 30 years of being Mario.
Oh yeah,
kind of crazy.
So from the sounds of it, it sounds like there's an imitator, not Chris Pratt, just voice acting every game from now on.
No, it's not Crispy Rat. It's not the crispiest rat, thank goodness. No, we don't know. I don't think they've said who the new voice actor is, especially since Charles Martinet wasn't just Mario, but he was also Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi. And I think there was a couple other side characters that he was. Wasn't he also Toadsworth or something? He was Toadsworth, I think. I don't think he was Toad.
Okay.
But there's a couple other side characters. I think
not realize all of them were just one guy. Actually,
no, yeah,
it was like blowing my mind right now.
The main four: Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi. They were all Charles, and
the main
people are wondering like, are they all going to get?
Called?
I don't know. I just refer to them as that. They're not technically like the main four, but if you're talking about like the types that they are, whether they're the people with the letter hats, I guess they're the only characters with letter hats.
People. I like how like we just know automatically. We live in this day and age. It's like the letter hat people. Yes.
Well, dude, like Peach doesn't have a P on her freaking crown. Daisy doesn't have a D on her crown. They have like Peach. Yeah. They have like a star or like a
I know what you mean. It's just letter hat.
So there's no word as to why he is stepping down from that position.
Well, they weren't really given a reason, but I can only assume it's
He's
because
pretty
like.
old.
He is getting up in age. I think he's like 65. I forget. I don't know how old he is. I think he's.
Old.
I know he's in his 60s. So, he's still not. He's not like done. Like he's done with voicing Mario like in the games, but he's gonna still be like a Nintendo ambassador. So that's cool. I think he still plans to like travel around and do stuff. And just like kind of. He'll still do like the Mario voice for like fans and whatnot. To my knowledge, I don't really know like what his new job description really entails, but I know that he's like he's stepping down from the role because he has done it for like over 30 years. So It just makes sense. But at the same time, I just think it's really interesting that he's just now stepping down.
Yeah. So,
and sorry, one more thing. I think people were pointing this out. His last role in like a major Mario thing was the Mario movie as Mario's father. And apparently the last line that he said in the movie are, "These are my boys." I just thought that was pretty cool.
That is so cool. Yeah, that's
like that being his last
cool.
line, like as a professional, like working for like the Mario IP, is like saying "These are my boys" as being his like last line as Mario's father in the movie. I just think that's really cool.
That is awesome. So the quick point I wanted to make here was that Mario's voice and a lot of those voices that he voices in the Mario franchise, right? They're kind of strenuous, right? They're pretty animated. So like,
oh, for sure,
a really a good example, like if you guys are kind of older, so you remember Filthy Frank, right? So when Joji stepped down from being Filthy Frank, it was like had to do a lot of it was because like the stress that like playing that character put on him, like it made him have seizures and like have like throat issues and stuff. Because he was like,
I never even heard about that.
He was like, yeah, well, he made it in his final video for Filthy Frank, right? It was just like it was literally causing like health issues because he was like putting so much stress on his body trying to like animate the voice and play those characters. Because like he like he'd like talk like this, he'd have the really strained voice. I don't know. It's just it was just probably hard for him to do consistently, and it caused again like some health issues. So I wonder like, with him being older and kind of playing characters that you really have to strain your voice to voice, maybe he also is having some sort of health issue from that.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. There's potential there, but I think like he's just done it for like 30 years. I don't know. I feel like it'd be like kind of natural. I really don't know. I don't know enough about like what things put strain on your voice. But I know there could be something there. We don't know, and I think it's better that we don't know. Obviously, like that should be personal for him and him alone, or like his family and whatnot. So.
Or to the close as to why. The fact that again that he's a Nintendo ambassador maybe doesn't show that it's because he's burnt out per se. I don't know. I mean, 65 is like pretty much the average retirement age. I mean, maybe he just simply is retired.
No, that's fair. And like, again, he's still doing 67. Okay. I mean, he's still gonna do stuff, to my knowledge. It's just like, he's just done. I mean,
there are
voicing
like
the character.
Notable voice actors who have like kind of never retired. They kind of like were voice acting until they died. Like I think one of the most notable examples was like Mel Blancs, who like did a lot of the Looney Tunes characters. He was like voice acting until he was like pretty much until his death. Interestingly, apparently Bugs Bunny saved Mel Blancs' life, which is something I learned once. Like the voice of Bugs Bunny. I heard
about that. Yeah, I feel like I heard about that. Weirdly enough, I forget the story behind it, but I do remember like hearing like a headline like that or something. He had like a stroke,
and he was like in a coma, and like the doctor would like try to call out his name. He's like, "Hey, are you there?" And then he like, just for fun, I think like one of the times he said, "Hey, Bugs Bunny, are you there?" And then he responded in Bugs Bunny's voice.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my goodness.
His grave reads, "That's all, folks," by the way.
I really think... I'm sure a lot of voice actors are like a lot of artists where they just never retire just because of simple love for the craft. Athletes are like that too until they're forced to retire. Like, they'll go through like 5 concussions before they stop playing even though they made hundreds of millions of dollars.
I think that's different when it comes to like athletes because there's at a point where like you're at an age where you simply can't perform like you used to. But, there are some people I know who like are in their 60s, even 70s that still do athletics. I think, have you heard of Tour de France?
Yeah.
There's really old people that join that race. So like up in their 70s. So that's a thing.
Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know how much strain voice acting puts on you. I know there's a lot of like older voice actors. So I feel like voice acting is probably one of the like the less strenuous working things that you can do when you get older. So there's that. It could
depend on the voice too.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like lower, deeper voices without like too much, having to like be super dramatic shouldn't be too bad. But if you're doing like Mario, like wahoo, yahoo, wah, like maybe it's gonna be like
there's gonna be a lot of inflection because you're such a cartoony, exaggerated character. If it's just your natural voice. Like Morgan Freeman, just sounds like Morgan Freeman.
For sure.
Well, yeah, especially with Mario. I think you're right, because you're like stressing every single word like that would come up with Mario. Like, I'm just imagining him in the room doing like hundreds of takes of all the iconic Mario lines.
Yeah, it's like,
I
say
feel that could get
wahoo,
pretty
woohoo!
exhausting.
Now say wahoo, but happier. Woohoo! Now say wahoo, but like as if you've been surprised by a birthday party. Wahoo! Like, now say wahoo, but after you've been attacked by a Goomba and you've ran into a wall. And like just like it's like wahoo. It's just like really
All the
dumb.
conditions. Just say Mario. Just Mario says "wah," right?
It's simply that. Nah, it's definitely an interesting topic to talk about, and I did like a short video thanking Charles Martinet for all he's done for the Mario series, because it was just crazy to grow up, with the Mario games and hear that the main voice actor is now stepping down.
It's like a new generation for Mario, I guess. We finally have like a different voice actor. Like, we all grew up with one voice actor, and now it's a different one.
I think the obvious parallel that's happening at the same time, now not nearly really as big, is kind of Rick and Morty too, right? I mean...
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Richard Mortimer.
Well, yeah, so obviously, Justin Roiland isn't voicing those characters anymore, so who's gonna be those voices? Like, there's so many people that can do the Rick and Morty imitation, right? So are they gonna bring on an imitator, or are they gonna do like what they did in Solar Opposites, and Solar Opposites was another cartoon he was voicing at the time. They literally just like had a canonical event that made the character's voice turn British, and then he just like was a British voice actor.
Richard and Mortimer, bro. My favorite show that I've never seen. I actually did see a little bit of it, but I'm not interested in watching the show, really. I heard it just gets bad.
There is a show that it seems like you are interested in watching.
Oh?
You have it here in your funny moments.
I do. Yeah, so this is a bit of an interesting topic for like the next era, I guess I could say, with Zeez Subreddit videos. And that is a show that I've known about, but never really just had to look into until I heard the theme song, which is an absolute banger. The music, at least, not the lyrics. And that is Miraculous Ladybug. I'm not sure, have either of you two heard of this show?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it.
Oh, really?
Before.
What about you, Emmy?
My sister watched a lot of it. She aggressively ships characters in that show, and I constantly hear it.
Yeah,
that is what I've heard is like a big appeal to the show, especially for like teenage audiences. But I've noticed that for some reason, even though I haven't really like got into this show, it's like extremely popular. Like insanely popular. Like, if you look at like the views this show gets, it's like above the Owl House. Like, it's insane.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like it's trending right now.
And it's been going on since 2015. It's still going on.
Wow.
No, this show is insanely popular. It's also because it's like I think it's more popular like globally as well. But like if you like look on like YouTube, it's like insanely popular. Like the views are crazy, which is why I've thought about like, talking about it. And I did actually watch the movie. And the writing is definitely, it's there. The main complaint about the show, to my knowledge, is the writing, which is like the case with a lot of shows. But like I think the animation, at least with the movie, I'm not really sure what the show does so much because I haven't seen like a wink of the show. But I saw the movie and I thought it looked really good. The animation really looked nice. The music was awesome. Some of the characters are fun, but not like super deep. They're just pretty basic. It feels like definitely one of those shows where you just have to turn your brain off and then you can enjoy it. But it's like immensely popular, like all over like different like social medias and whatnot. And I thought about like, maybe talking about it, check it out like each season or whatever. And I plan to do a review of the movie because if you look at like movie reviews, I think it's been out for like around a month. They already have like 1.5 million or like 1.5 million views. It's like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So you listed an era. You weren't just saying a video. You're saying an era. So you really do plan to have multiple videos.
I'm wondering. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to like start watching the show to like see if it's worth it. But I feel like it could be like because a lot of the shows that I like would want to talk about, for example, I feel like wouldn't get that many views because I have to like balance what I'm interested in versus what will get me views because I also have to like financially support myself at the same time. And I feel like Miraculous Ladybug could be the next step potentially as like a major like ongoing thing. You know, not like a one-off, for example. Like I do plan to do like one-off videos. There's like a couple that I want to work on right now. But you know, like Amphibian and the Owl House were like my main two things that I made videos on Zeez G2. And Amphibia is basically over. I still plan to like make videos on these two topics, but nowhere near.
Amphibia over like last year, or did I miss something?
No, Amphibia's been over for a while, and Owl House ended like 5 months ago. And I think my final Owl House
it's been 5
video,
months already.
Yeah, my final Owl House video. I should say final, but like final Owl House video of like the era, I guess, because I might still make some in the future, but nowhere near as often. And I'm actually working. No, I already finished the art contest. That's out. Thank goodness.
Well, no, I know you have.
No, it's the Kahoot video. I'm about 50% done with it right now. I'm spending a lot of time on it, trying a new editing style. Hopefully it'll be good. But I don't want to like say that on Zeez G2 because then I'll lose like 1 million subscribers. But you know, for the true fans who watch the podcast, it's probably going to be the last Owl House video I make for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah, you're putting it on the archived list, right? So it's like more periodic.
I guess, yeah. It's just like I want to move on and talk about other shows because as much as I do love these two shows, I've basically done most of the content that I can. I've kind of burned myself out from these shows a little bit as well. As much as I love them, I need to like talk about other stuff.
You need to branch out, and I think that's.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the Owl House fans might not like that, but it's something you need to do as like a person because YouTube's like a job. So I mean, you gotta branch out.
Yeah,
eventually.
Anyone that cares about your content on Zeez G2, the writing has been on the wall forever that you're moving away from.
Yeah, for sure.
The Owl House and Amphibia.
100%.
So like, I don't think anyone's gonna be surprised when you completely stop making videos.
It's not like you only make Owl House videos, anyways, right?
No, for sure not. It's just the ones that get the most views and the most attention. It's like when I try to like move on to something else, it's gonna be a little tricky. But I feel like talking about like Miraculous would be a really good transition because the audience overlap is probably pretty large since like a lot of kids enjoy the show, but a lot of adults enjoy it too. Weirdly enough, that's the thing I've noticed with Miraculous. A lot of older adults like this show as well, even though it's like kind of objectively not good from a writing standpoint. And I just found that to be a little interesting because I see like a lot of video essays that get like mad views about this show. And, you know, children don't really care about video essays. That's more of like a teenager adult thing. But they still get like, you know, a couple million views. Like I think I saw like the main protagonist character analysis that came out like last year. And it's got like 3 million views. And it's like, what? Within a year, 3 million views just for a character analysis.
I should honestly
that's
watch
crazy.
it just to see what people are watching.
Emmy, it is 5 seasons. There are 100-something episodes.
I just watched 3 seasons of something, or 4 seasons of something else, and I didn't even like it that much. I talked about this.
This could be really mid.
What was it?
It could be really mid. I don't know.
I watched all of Symphogear.
And
I didn't even like it that much. I don't actually think it was that great. I just kept watching it. It was like a very love-hate relationship.
But I think
I honestly feel like making a video of it. I'm being like, that's just
another Emmy video. Hold on, we have Fork tier list, Ramen tier list, and whatever you said.
Symphogear analysis video.
No, it's not even an analysis video. It's just my thoughts on Symphogear in maybe like an hour or 2 hours.
Kind of back to your topic on adults. Whenever I go to conventions, I've seen lots of Miraculous Ladybug cosplays.
Really?
And something that I remember when the show came out, like in 2015, and why I know about it was that
it's still running.
When it kind of came out, was it had a lot of really good like fights choreography. I guess you could say like the action looked really good, and especially for like a CG kid show.
Did you know that
like,
it was actually not originally supposed to be a CG show?
I didn't know that. No.
I mean, you can kind of sort of tell.
I mean, I know it's made in France. That's cool.
Well, yeah, so originally it was supposed to be like 2D animated, and it was actually by like around the same studio pretty much that did Sailor Moon, I believe. And the reason they decided not to hand animate it was because their main character was a ladybug with spots, and that was extremely hard to hand animate. And they're like, okay, we're doing 2D. But there is a pilot floating around in YouTube that you should watch. Actually, I think it's that pilot actually looks pretty neat. And
what the heck? You know more about this show than I do. I mean, what the heck?
No, I just know this. I don't know anything else. Actually, everything else that I know is from my sister talking about it, shipping about it, or memeing about it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Another potential video idea talking about the pilot there, Zeez. So,
all right.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
You're welcome, Zeez.
You can clearly tell that it was anime inspired. Like just the way that they framed the fights and a lot of. I just remember there being kind of a lot of action poses, I suppose, or like keyframe moments. It's sort of like how anime does its fight scenes.
For sure. No, I definitely get that vibe just from like I've only seen the movie again, but I think it's like it also gets that sort of anime cheesy vibe because like it is
tropey.
If you want to talk, it's very tropey, like cliche. But if you like think about like cheesy dialogue, like this show has like a cheesy line like every 2 seconds. Like I don't think it's so cheesy, dude.
I don't
you
feel
think
like I've
about cheesy
watched
things,
enough
it is
of it
the
too.
most cheesy thing I've ever seen. But I still kind of liked it, even though I knew it was like objectively, like from a writing standpoint, not amazing.
Well, I feel I feel like you can like something without it being like fantastic from a writing perspective. That's
actually what I wanted to talk about at the ending of the review for my Miraculous like movie review that I've already started working on, is that you don't need to like you can enjoy something that is like objectively badly written.
Well, I think it can resonate with you. There are things about it that you probably enjoy that aren't necessarily the writing. Like it just speaks to you. I don't know. Like the concept or like the idea, or maybe it's just an escapism, or you can project
or it's just a fun show. It could just like you just have fun watching it. Like that's what I had when I was watching the movie. I just had fun watching it, even though I knew it wasn't like objectively like, oh, this is amazing, this is peak cinema. I just thought it was fun.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, not every show is going to be a masterpiece.
It's not all peak fiction.
Right. There's another like point where like you can't simmer on one piece of art forever because nothing's ever going to be a 10 out of 10. A perfect example is like comics, like manga, right? So like Berserk chapters historically took forever to release because Kentaro Miura would put so much detail on them. But then he died and he didn't release that many chapters frequently, like for health reasons too. But like when you spend so long making a chapter, you also like are slowing down your story and a lot of like your creativity. Like imagine if every chapter of One Piece was like ultra polished. I mean, it has a huge team, so it actually is kind of, but
yeah,
sort of, you know.
What was he working alone, or did he have like any assistants at all?
He ended up starting a studio called Studio Gaga near the end of his life, and he took on apprentices, but they weren't meant to help him with Berserk. They were mostly there to kind of work on their own thing, but also just to kind of like learn under him to master a style. And they made a little fantasy series called Deuteranki or whatever. I might be mispronouncing it or missaying it, but it's another fantasy series, not nearly as dark as Berserk. But upon his passing, it ended up working out really well because those people ended up going on to continue Berserk because they didn't know the story at all. The only person that knew the story was his best friend, who was another mangaka. He was the author of. Trying to think of the names of the series. I can't remember his name at all at the moment. I'm blanking. But yeah, he essentially like that was his best friend, and he like how he knew the story is because like they would both like talk about each other's mangas and would just like go back and forth about like, hey, like spitballing ideas, right? So like let's say that me and you were making videos, Zeez, like we're just spitballing like, hey, how are we gonna write this next scene out? Like how does that sound to you? Like no, like this kind of just like they would like have conversations like nearly every day on how they wanted to write their stories. And because of that, he was the only one that knew exactly how Berserk plans to go out and end. And before his death, I think Miura wrote a bunch of notes to give to him for him to finish it. So he's writing it while his underlings, right, or the people who are studying on him are drawing it. So he kind of looks like a style, but yeah, or his mentees apprentices. Thank you.
Underlings, it's so funny.
He's like a villain. It's like some super villain with like minions.
His little rookies, dude, guys. It's his little
rookies. Oh
my god! You mean infinitesimal freshmen.
Yeah, infinitesimal freshmen. Yeah, there's microscopic novices.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just think that's interesting. But yeah, the whole like 10 out of 10 thing, like no art is perfect. You shouldn't spend time on every single frame. Like not every frame has to be a painting, right? But on the writing side too, I guess, like if you just want to have fun, not everything needs to be like masterful dialogue. That's insightful and interesting too. To the point of the Miraculous Ladybug. And also, you just watched the movie. In my experience, TV shows have terrible movies, and obviously the TV show, because it's a longer run thing, the narrative is definitely more like important or great.
Well, I feel like it's a large part of that is because the writers that work on the movie are the same writers that work on the TV show usually and they had
sometimes not.
Really?
I
feel like a lot of the time it is. Is it not?
Well, I do know from a person who hasn't seen the show at all, there are some things in the movie that just don't get explained like at all. It's just like, yep, this is a thing. Just accept it.
No, I'm sure.
I didn't even know till the ending of the movie that apparently the cat is supposed to have like the cat guy.
That's a spoiler. I didn't watch the movie, Zeez.
I didn't even say anything yet. I just said to the end of the movie, or until the end of the movie, he has destruction powers.
There's a cat guy.
He has destruction powers. Anything he touches like dies. Apparently.
Wow.
I didn't know that. They never said it throughout the movie. They just said that he was like the power of like, I don't know. It makes no sense. They just don't explain it. It's just like he just destroys the Eiffel Tower. That's spoilers, but sorry.
No,
I mean, I feel like the Eiffel Tower gets destroyed like every week in that universe, so it's not like it's a big deal.
Dude, like I'm saying, man, I feel like the movies I've seen from TV series always suck compared to like the actual TV series. So coming in like with that kind of like mentality, like the movies probably might be written bad because they just suck at writing movies because it's meant to be a TV series. But they push the movies because they get money.
I don't think that's always the case, but I think there's definitely like a point to be made there. Like I know a really good movie from a TV show that I love is Ed and Eddie Big Picture, the final episode.
That's true.
I love that movie, dude. That movie's so good. I think it's amazing, dude.
Talking about TV movies, and I personally really like the Phineas and Ferb movie, but I honestly, looking back at it, I really like that movie. But
is that the Across the Second Dimension one? Because there was multiple movies, right?
Yeah,
I like that one. That was a good one. Yeah.
Looking back at it, I feel like all the jokes landed really well. Like, I don't know, it was really well paced for what like usually is like a 20, not even a. Is it? I'm trying to remember.
11 minutes. It's usually 11-minute show.
Minisodes, right?
Yeah, it'd like be like one. It'd be like one episode with like an A, like a A, which is 11 minutes, then a B that's 11 minutes usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To that point, the Simpsons movie was also pretty good. But yeah,
I never saw it, but I heard it was good. Yeah. Again, it's just I think it's just like a hit or miss. It's probably harder to do, but if they have people that are experienced with like actually making an arc that can last longer than 11 minutes, then it's gonna work out probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's highly dependent on like who's on the team, I suppose. It's really the exception though, as far as I've found, like having a TV show have a movie. Also, like, it's hard to get, I guess, as big an audience unless it's like a really big franchise. I don't know. Because a movie is like so long, and it's hard to get people to sit down for that.
So, speaking about TV series, okay, and not really TV series, but series in general, and series that kids like, going back to my favorite topic of all time, Skibidi Toilet, okay? So, I actually have a comment I want to take back from, well, not really take back, but elaborate on that I said in the last episode I was on here with. I described the kids that are making videos of them as Skibidi Toilets as Gen Alpha brain rot, okay? And I sort of want to take this back because, or at least want to add context. While it is fun to make fun of Gen Alpha, you know, the little kids that they are, I want to almost defend them here. So something that's easy like to fall into, and I've definitely realized I'm falling into it, is like the cycle of generational hatred. Okay, this is a real thing, a very real thing that has happened.
Yeah,
you can look back. I mean, hundreds of years, almost like thousands of years, even almost, where the old generation never approves the new generation. It's the same complaint also that, like, oh, this generation never wants to work. That's also like a very common example of that too. But going back to this, I mean, boomers made fun of Gen X. Gen X made fun of millennials. Millennials made fun of Gen Z. And Gen Z is making fun of Gen Alpha. It just is the cycle. We disapprove of the next generation because we see flaws in them that we kind of maybe see in our own generation that we're trying to fix, but they're like fully embracing it because they're kids, they don't know any better. Like social media addiction and stuff. But at the same time, man, we got to look out for our little Gen Alphas. I think that like it's too easy to fall into the trap of just saying, "Oh, Gen Alpha brain rot. Look how stupid they are. The next generation's so screwed, guys." But that's exactly what millennials felt about us. And now, like, maybe they feel a little bit better about us. Like, oh, we're showing up to voting in record numbers. Like, oh, that's kind of cool, right? So there's cool, defendable things about Gen Z, and then I think we should also say the same about Gen Alpha. I think it's just way too easy to fall into that cycle.
No, I don't actually really have any strong feelings towards Gen Alpha. I think they're kind of strange in the way that I feel like millennials think that we're strange, but I feel like I'll probably understand them eventually.
I know you bring up a good point, because honestly, like whenever people are talking about like all these different like generations, I have never really been able to like vibe with that, with like, oh, millennial, Gen Z, whatever, because I just kind of like do my own thing, and anybody else, they just kind of do their own thing. I couldn't care less what generation they're a part of. Like, that's how I view it, at least. But you know, I totally get what you mean when it comes to like that, like you see it, there's like a different generation, because when I look at like what all the 13-year-olds are loving these days, it's like Roblox, Five Nights at Freddy's, Subway Surfers, stuff like that. I'm just like, that just looks like so lame to me. And
I feel like we were into pretty lame stuff as 13-year-olds.
Oh yeah,
too,
exactly.
They're just in their cringe phase.
Yeah, no, it's just they're kids, so it's like, what do you mean? They don't have fully developed brains. Obviously, not gonna like do anything like masterful. They're gonna just play Subway Surfers. They need those Subway. They do those like vertical things. They're TikToks. They're freaking attention spans are lower than goldfishes or whatever.
Yeah, no,
like, I don't think it's like
completely true.
A thing that you should hate on. It's just like a thing that you notice that is maybe sometimes kind of cringe, but like at the end of the day, it's very younger people that are doing that. So it's like they haven't grown up yet. So like, why do you hate on them?
Absolutely.
I guess I get like, you know, doing like playful making fun of them, like poking at them, but I don't think like, you know, actual hatred towards anybody is like justified by any means.
I have to constantly curb this with some of my close friends. They say this about like, they'll do this about like chastity and like purity and stuff. They do this all the time, which is just not factually true at all. And then they also do that with the whole like intelligence thing. Like literally one of the comments of one of my friends when I hung out with them recently was, oh, like everyone born after 2004 is just like so dumb. I'm like, yeah, they're dumb because they're 19. Like they're 19 or younger. Like, yeah, I was an idiot when I was even
kids,
18.
And a lot of them are like
still
teenagers,
dumb.
So they're like,
I am still dumb. Like, come on. Yeah.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? I'm still stupid.
I don't know. I just feel like they're just not thinking like, what was I doing when I was that age?
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like they're having like slightly rosy pictures of like what they were doing at that age.
I still went out and hung out outside with all my friends back then. I don't even know. No, absolutely.
I think a lot of it is like the younger you are, the more you look toward the future. The older you are, the more you look toward the past.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so deep. Zeez, that was so deep.
I don't think that was deep. I think that's just a fair point, because like the older you are, the more experience you have, and the less time you have to look forward. That's just the truth.
Yeah, I feel like the older you are, the more of your life is behind you.
Exactly. Like every second we're talking about here, we can reflect more in the past than we can look toward the future, because we're older.
I mean, the rate at which you mature between like 14 to 21 is so crazy, right? I mean, I can't even begin to like imagine. So like, you know, I still like am involved in educational programs, so I still interact a lot with high school students. And I mean, it's so blatantly obvious, especially like when I see them go from 14 to 18, the change is so drastic, guys. It is crazy.
No, it is. It is
how much they turn into
a
actual people. So it's really hard to identify how screwed a generation is or how dumb they are. I think that it's valid to be concerned about their social media addiction. As a generation, how they're kind of defined is that we're the first generation to grow up with the internet. They're the first generation to grow up with the algorithm. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I see what you mean, yeah. Because we were in like the experimental stages of it, whereas now it's been like so standardized and like everything just feels like it's kind of clicked into place.
And all the YouTube algorithms and everything's an algorithm.
A lot of the internet everything's like already clicked into place, right? Like it doesn't feel like there's a lot more room for like evolution, considering like everybody kind of knows how it works.
I feel like they're gonna have their own thing,
right? Of course, like we're in like that AI segment. We're in the experimental AI segment, you know. But
I feel like they're probably going to know a lot more
now?
about like AI than we do. Like they're probably going to be like, "Oh yeah, I can tell ChatGPT to do exactly what I want," and I'm going to be like, "How the heck did you do that?"
Yeah,
right, absolutely.
And I feel like I feel like in some ways, like thinking too much about the next generation kind of can blind you to like your own generation. I remember like 20 years ago we were talking about like Facebook addiction, and like that is not a young person thing
20
anymore.
years ago? That's 2003.
I'm sorry, not 20 years ago, like 15 years ago.
I remember Facebook edition like 2010. All right, 2010,
yeah,
2011.
I was just saying like
that
10,
was middle
15,
school,
like a
bro.
little 10 years ago maybe.
Yeah. It was like 8 to 10 when I was like around then. People were talking about like Facebook addiction affecting young people, and now all of a sudden it's like an old person thing. I feel like, I don't know, just complaining about that can kind of blind you to how your own generation still needs to like fix its own.
For sure, and at the same
flaws.
time, all of us are still alive together. Like you're all still at the same, even if it's like generational things, you're all still like able to access all the same things. You know, like we're still in the segment of AI, just like these younger kiddos are. It's just that they're developing while we've already basically developed, and we're all just like going through it. I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Like, even if it's like new, yeah. I don't know. It's just something to think about. I guess like we're all still alive at the same time.
I mean,
So,
they're
like,
gonna have
why-
different experiences than ours, but like,
Right.
I mean, I feel like I could still learn something from talking to how Gen Alpha interacts with AI versus how I interact with
Well,
AI.
the thing is, you
versus
can't
how,
really
like,
have
my
that
grandpa
conversation with them
interacts.
yet. You gave the example of 13. I don't even think 13 still is part of newer Gen Z. I think Gen Alpha is
Yeah,
like
13.
I
Gen
think
Alpha's like 3 right
because you
now.
guys
I
gotta
think,
remember
or something
we're also Zillennials basically. We're the start of Gen Z, so like the early
Yeah,
phase
we're,
of
like, at the
97 to
boundary.
2001. Yeah, we're the switch between two generations. We're definitely Gen Z, but
most
the
of
beginning
Gen
of
Z was born like, I feel like a large portion of Gen Z was like born like kind of after like, I mean, there's going to be a
it
large
is
portion that's
defined.
just born after the iPhone, right? Like
right,
there's
it
just
is
like
defined. Yeah, so how it's defined is it's usually 96 to 97 is the start of Gen Z, and the reason being is because you would have
Really?
been
96?
you would have been 12 years old or 13 years old at the release of the first iPhone, which means that your formative teenage years were in the age of the smartphone, which is how
I
you
see.
start
That
the
makes
Generation
sense.
Z. Yeah, it's the first generation to have its formative years of like understanding the world, growing up through the context of social media and the internet.
I see.
even then, like when you were 12, you didn't have a smartphone in 2008 when like the iPhone. Or, was it 2008? It's probably like 2006.
But it doesn't. It's the start of that trend, though. That world began
It is the start,
then.
yeah.
And regardless if you were a part of it or not, by the end of high school, you were absolutely fully a part of it. So
Yeah, so I feel like, I don't know, Gen Alpha is still pretty young, all things considered. I don't even think we have a solid year range for Gen Alpha yet, because I don't know if they've ended Gen Z yet.
they have ended. Gen Z's been over for a while. I think Gen
Okay.
Alpha starts like 2015, or yeah. So again, like no, I'd say about 2013, 2012-ish. Like they're about 10 years old now. Is like the oldest of Gen
Gotcha.
Alpha, kind of to an extent.
I say I don't even again I don't like pay too much attention to like the
I think it's
generations,
interesting to
so I
think
didn't really
about.
know.
Yeah, they're
No,
gonna all
you're right, you're
start
right.
calling Twitter X because they'll never have known it as anything
Yeah, oh
different.
my No, their early internet nostalgia isn't like Newgrounds like us or something like that. It's gonna be like, you guys remember when X was Twitter? Like that's their
Oh,
nostalgia.
yeah. Remember when Facebook was Facebook instead of Meta?
Well,
Remember when all the companies
they
decided to
canceled
just
Meta,
rename
right?
themselves?
Didn't they totally like can Meta? Like, aren't they not calling it Meta?
No, they're still called Meta.
I thought it was just the parent company. I thought they still called Facebook
Oh, Facebook's still
but
Facebook for 100%.
Like Facebook's still Facebook, but
it's just the parent company
is
is
Meta.
Meta.
I think because
kinda
the
like how Google's
metaverse
Alphabet.
was such a huge flop, but they're hesitant to switch over to the Meta branding.
Zuck moment. The Zuck.
Yeah, that was a pretty big Zuck failure, to be honest. Just like that boxing match. Joking.
There's a boxing match with Zuck in it? I'm not
It
aware
was supposed to
of
be
this
it was
one.
supposed to be Zuck versus Elongated, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, elongated rat backed out because he's a elongated.
Wait, what?
Because he's an
He
elongated
backed
rat.
out? He
Yeah,
backed out? Oh my god.
pull yourself up by the bootstraps, Musk. Backed out.
Elongated versus Zuck. I would it would have been funny if it happened because like seeing billionaires go at it.
You know,
I
like-
don't know if it'd be funny or like concerning for like the future, but yeah.
No, it would be. I think it's definitely there's a concern to it, but at the same time, I think it's just
No,
the idea of it. It's just the idea of it is funny.
Mark to win.
It's just
very badly.
It's just a battle of like egos, basically, because that's all it is. It's like who has the bigger ego. You know, like, and whoever wins that is going to like have the biggest ego for the rest of their life too.
Speaking of one-letter things, what the heck is Identity V?
Oh yeah. I have this written down on a podcast notes. So Identity. It's actually Identity 5. I thought it was Identity V2. Apparently, it's Identity 5.
Oh, okay.
It's this. It is literally just this free-to-play game that I've been doing on stream recently. If you look it up, the art style very much looks like the Coraline Otherworld people, like like the Other Mother, like the button eyes and whatnot. If you look it up, the art style literally looks like characters straight out of that world. It looks kind of cool. And they've had a crossover recently with Danganronpa. They've owned multiple before, but they're having the latest games crossover, Danganronpa V3. So where you can get characters from that game in Identity 5. And the gameplay is really, really fun. It's basically like Dead by Daylight. I've never played Dead by Daylight, but it's basically that. It's you have 4 survivors, working together on a certain sized map. And they're supposed to do these little tasks and while running away from a person who hunts them. So it's a 5-player game. You have 4 people who work together, and then you have like one person who hunts them down and tries to basically kill them.
And the hunter down is not a computer; it's a person.
It's a person, yeah. They're all people, and
wow,
it's really fun.
Awesome.
It's actually really fun. It's pretty addicting, honestly. And
it looks like it's a phone game too.
Yeah, it's on PC and mobile. And it's free to play, but there's gotcha elements where you can go to get new characters.
I already see it all on there. The Isabelle from Promised Neverland, and then the Joker. Yeah, I see it all.
Yeah, the gacha rates are pretty awful, but the gameplay is fun. If it's just like goes back to that sort of like gacha thing where like, some gacha games just aren't very fun. It's just like just to attract people to buy things. But I think this is like a game that is like, if you just completely forget about the gacha element and just play the game, it's really fun. Like it is so fun. It's super stressful, like whenever a hunter starts chasing you, because there's a strategy called kiting where you like try to run around the map and dodge the hunter chasing you. And it's like always super intense when you've been kiting for like 60 seconds and you're starting to run out of options and the hunter's like getting really, really close to you and you're basically like out of health. It's super fun. It's super fun. I've been playing it on stream. I'll probably stream it after we record this. Sorry?
Is it kind of like Phasmophobia?
I haven't played that.
Clues, or is there like an end goal, like you get to escape?
Yeah. Basically, how the gameplay works is like there's the 4 survivors. There are 5 little cipher machines on the map. Basically, when you go up to a cipher, you decode it. All you have to do is basically just sit there and press the space bar whenever there's a QTE, quick time event. And each cipher takes around like 70 seconds to complete. But at the same time, if you're not decoding, the hunter's going to find you, and you basically have to complete all 5 ciphers with a team of 4, and then run out the gate, which you also have to decode, which takes like 20 seconds.
If one person dies, is the whole team done for, or can one person escape and win?
So how it works is if 3 people escape, that's a win for the survivors. If 2 people escape, it's a tie. If the hunter catches 3 people, then the hunter wins. That's usually how it works.
Okay,
so it's 3. So if it's 2 people escape, that's the tie. If it's 3 any other way, then it's survivor or hunter wins. So one person can die.
Interesting.
One person can die and the whole team can still win. But if 2 people die, that's the only way you can win is a tie.
Now, does the map constantly change, or are you given the same map?
I think there are like 8 maps, but
so you can master where the cipher locations are, so the hunter can just camp those out.
There's like somewhat randomized spawn locations throughout the map. But there are only a specific set of spawn locations, so like top players will know all the spawn locations. They'll know where ciphers and survivors can potentially be. But lower level players have no idea. I don't have any idea. I've played the game for maybe like 5 to 6 hours. I have no idea where the spawn points are. I just kind of go to the nearest cipher and pray that the hunter doesn't come. But the more I've been playing, the more I find myself wanting to do less of the cipher stuff and more playing around with the hunter, trying to dodge them, because I think that's just more fun. It really gets like the blood pumping, and it's like super addicting. Like whenever your team is like super close to a win, and like everybody's like on their last health. Like it's so fun. Like when it gets like really, really down to the wire, where you have no idea who's gonna win. And both sides have like comeback mechanics too, which is really cool. Like when all 5 of the ciphers are decoded and you have to make it to the exit gate, the hunter can one-shot basically anybody now. So it's like that's like the comeback for the hunter. And whenever somebody gets hit for the first time, they get like a super speed boost so they can get away from the hunter really fast. It's super fun. It's super fun.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because it does actually kind of tie in with like that whole Gen Alpha, Gen Z sort of thing. Because it feels like
horror. It's the spooky horror thing.
It's the spooky horror a little bit, yeah. But apparently the main player base is like younger children.
Like Among Us, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe not so much Among Us, but it's like I feel like younger teens really play it, whereas opposed to like older people, adults would be more interested in like Dead by Daylight. So this feels like the more kiddish version of Dead by Daylight. Which is what a lot of people describe it as. But I don't know. I don't really have any prior notions of either game going into it. I just played it for the Danganronpa crossover, and it turned out to be really fun.
Oh, I see. I feel like people have like a penchant for bashing things that look sort of kiddie, even though they're probably like decent. Like you probably
like
would have
Fortnite?
played it as a teenager.
Like Paw Patrol. I actually haven't seen Paw Patrol, but weirdly enough, I just hear people talk about it here and there. Or like Bluey, that's a good example. Bluey's a kid's show, but like adults love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It takes like
Bluey.
one clip of Bluey to understand like that it's clearly meant for all ages, but like Paw Patrol, obviously, that's a bit of a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch.
No.
If you're watching Paw Patrol, I don't know.
No, my aunt said she saw a few episodes of Paw Patrol and thought it was funny.
I actually watched Paw Patrol.
I've literally never seen a single episode. I haven't seen anything of Bluey either, but I just heard that Bluey was like really good because it was like an all ages.
One of my
show.
friends
I've seen a
wanted
bunch
me
of
to.
clips. It looks really good.
It's actually really good. One of my friends had me watch it, so because they really wanted me to watch it, and they were like, "You got to check out this show." And I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, I watched it in a hotel room. What does it air on, Nick?
I don't know. We watched it on Netflix.
Or is it on Oh, okay. I don't remember. It was on
Gen
TV
Z
on
and our
something.
streaming services.
Yeah, literally.
But
RIP Cable TV. Speaking of Gen Z, yeah.
Oh yeah, RIP Cable.
RIP
But,
traditional television.
I don't really feel like the cable companies really care.
Dude, have you guys ever like just seen those YouTube videos where it's like 30 minutes of an uninterrupted like TV stream from like 2008 Cartoon Network or whatever? Stuff like that.
I have not, no.
Oh my gosh.
Where it has like all the commercials in there too?
Yeah, it just has every commercial it used to play back then. It just shows like
that's
episodes and like the old bumpers.
They haven't been just taken
It's in the
down
4:3 aspect
Network.
ratio. It's awesome. It's like, whoa.
That feels like somebody just like had a leftover like tape recording.
Yeah,
and
they're
like, converted
VHS
it.
recordings of people
That's
who like
so
just
cool,
taped
yo.
the old thing. You know, like how there used to be like a hobby, right? It's like archivists. Like people would just get like 10, 15, 20 VHS players and they just tape like multiple channels at the same time. Just nonstop, 24 hours a day almost. Just because they just loved archiving things. I don't know.
That's awesome.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Actually, the other day I was like looking for like
all paid
an
off.
ad that I probably couldn't. I don't think is even out there on YouTube. I thought it would be, but it's not. It was like some old Apple ad for Siri that I remembered that was kind of goofy, and I was just like, I kind of want to watch this ad again just because it was so goofy. And so I was trying to find it, but I couldn't. Kind of wish it was on YouTube though.
This is a great topic. I actually love like, sort of like the lost media topic. There is this video. It's literally, I know so much about it because I used to watch it all the time as a kid. And I talked about it recently, like on twitter.com. X. And it's actually still on my old iPod that I don't know where it is. So I could find the video if I find that iPod. But it is called Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving, and it features a Bugs Bunny plushie in a cardboard tank shooting and killing a bunch of Nintendo character plushies. It is one of the funniest videos I watched from my childhood. I thought about it all the time. It is exactly 5 minutes long. It is made by a creator called Super Hyper Hedgie who deleted their channel and all of their videos on it. And
What?
I like know so much information about this single video, and it's just completely gone off the platform. The creator is just completely gone. You can't find anything about Super Hyper Hedgie at all. There's like a channel actually on YouTube that's called Super Hyper Hedgie, and it's an impersonator. It's not him. It's like a completely different person who just coincidentally has the exact same name.
Looks like you have a potential ZVG3 video on your hands here. Lost media. You know, you kind of have like the internet art, like the internet culture sort of aesthetic to your channel a little bit, slightly. just kind of talking about internet things.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess
that's like a genre on YouTube.
I definitely want to find that video though, because it's a classic. And I don't. The problem is like I would love to re-upload it onto YouTube, but I don't really know how I would do that, considering the fact because it's not like my video, and I don't want to like take their credit. So
I would assume like it's like what you do with most lost film things. I mean, it's like partial commentary, partial not.
I guess, but I would like to upload the video completely on its own for people to like enjoy it. I guess if I find
make a fake account and upload it on there and just forget about it.
I actually do have an archive channel where I think I talked about this, where I upload just like gameplay videos, and I thought about like uploading it there, but like saying, you know, original by Super Hyper Hedgy, you know, stuff like
just put all that. Please reach out to me if you're not okay with this being posted.
Yeah, literally, exactly that. And I would just upload it, you know, put all credit to that creator, because people do that with, like, you know, like big YouTubers who delete their videos.
This video will be demonetized automatically. Not that you have monetization on your archive channel, but
no, but that's exactly what I would do for sure. It's funny because like people actually did that with some of my videos. I took down some of the AI videos. And people already re-uploaded them.
I've seen them on there.
And I didn't want to like comment and say delete this, but like if you are watching this podcast and you made one of those, please delete them. I didn't want to like go out of my way and be like rude to be like, shut this down now, because like what if they say no, then I have to like go through the whole process.
I don't know, man. I think that it shows that you have a fan base. I think that people who care so much about your content that they're willing to archive it is actually really cool. I know that like you try to get rid of it for like a moral reason, and you did. You got it off the main platform. Those archive videos only have like 50 views, and it's for diehard fans that really want to go back and watch that video. I don't know.
Yeah,
to me, you're kind of deleting something that meant something to some people. But I get it. I understand. You know, it's up to you what you do, what people do with your videos. Obviously.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna go out of my way to do it. But if they decide to do it of their own, because it's like, again, I did make them, but you're right, it is off like the main channel. So I, as a person who is like a larger member of like Owl House Amphibia community, have, you know, made my message about people shouldn't do that. So
about it. You made a video and multiple community posts. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you did your due diligence. If you want to go all the way back through and have them delete it, it's up to you. Obviously, they're your videos.
I mean, I guess it just depends on how prevalent it becomes, right? Like, obviously, if it's just a few small videos, probably it's fine. There's like a huge video, maybe not. I don't know.
I've had many content creators delete videos or take down videos in the past that I cared a lot about, and I've used archive channels in the past to relive them, and I really appreciated that people archive them. But that's just me, obviously.
I guess it just depends on why the video was taken down. Like, it was just like the creator didn't like it anymore and it's archived. I guess I feel like that's a bit more okay, but like, if it's just like, I don't know, for your videos, I feel like it's different though, because it's also like you're thinking about the morality of it all. So I don't know. It's kind of a complicated subject, whether or not archiving is like good or not.
For those specific videos, yeah, there are some of the creators, you know, there's 1,000 reasons why you'd want to delete a video. Some people just, I'm sure the Super Hyper Hedgy guy behind that maybe just didn't want his voice out there, maybe thought his old videos were cringe and wanted to delete them because they're plushy videos. I thought they were really good. You know, maybe I'm remembering how Kid Me liked it, and they could just be really, really like terrible. Like if I go back to watch it now, it could just be like really, honestly, like garbage. But I remember it. Like my memory of it is like it was such a high quality video, and like the sound effects and everything were so good. So I'd love to like go back and watch it because I have such fond memories of it. But I haven't seen the video in like 10 years. So it's like, how does my perception of me when I was so much younger versus me seeing it now? I don't know. It really makes me want to find that video.
I mean, I have like videos like that I just can't find anymore. I'm not sure if they're deleted or I can't search for them because I don't remember the title of them, and the algorithm only recommends me like popular videos that are kind of like the title. So
lots media is a really fun topic, but it's also like pretty tough to find what you're looking for. Especially on YouTube, when YouTube's like, oh, push the funny Among Us meme, funny short Among Us, funny Ski Die Twilight.
That's why I always use the save feature on YouTube now.
Zeez, do you know Run for the Cube? The YouTuber Run for the Cube? Because you just made his voice.
I do not know. Who?
Anyways,
I didn't.
anyways, unrelated to that. Speaking of like weird not archival things, but micro like fan bases of you specifically. Did you know that you have a subreddit?
Wait,
I do?
Subreddit?
Yes, you do. You do have a subreddit.
Man,
Oh.
man, RaceCar is like the biggest Zeez fan out of
I
all
am.
of us.
I
Even
am. I
bigger
really
than
know a
Zeez
lot.
himself. He knows more about Zeez than Zeez knows about himself.
I don't even go on Reddit that often, so I wouldn't know.
r/ZeezWebG2. It only has
Only
11 members.
ZeezWebG2, not even
It
ZeezWeb.
has 11 members. There is a
Okay,
post.
that's probably why there's like nobody. There's no members, so that makes sense.
Yo, someone
What?
defended you. It says don't use and delete AI videos. As ZeezWebG said, don't use AI videos to show support respect for the real voice actors. Upvote.
Hey, yo, that's on topic too. Let's go. Whoever made that post.
There's been three posts, and then the auto lounge that comes up with everything.
There's only 3 posts. That's
Okay,
funny.
the other one was
That's not it. No, that's not even like a real subreddit. There's only 3 people. That's so funny. That's not even like I shouldn't say that's real. There's only like 3 posts. That's not a subreddit. That's just like one person.
Okay, but someone tried to create it and make something.
There's 4 different people here, though. It's not like just one
Okay,
person.
okay, all right.
There's 11 people here, okay, including me.
All right, okay.
I mean, there's 4 people who make posts.
Yo, I'm gonna make a post later today.
Yo, can I create a post? I'm gonna make a post. Can I?
I'm gonna make
Wait,
a post
no,
on
no,
it
no.
later.
I'm gonna make a
post.
post. I'm gonna make a post. So for those of you that don't know, I'm gonna reveal this.
Uh-oh.
I am Luna Pavis Solcris.
No.
Oh no, dude.
No way! You're the weirdo edgy person to keep. You're the weird wolf, edgy wolf.
To give us a quick recap, back I think it was like what episode, I don't even know what it was. We created this really, really edgy character named Luna Pavis Solcris, and they appeared in the comments section of my videos randomly. Turns out Emmy is the mastermind behind Luna Pavis Solcris, so that's amazing. I've been loving the comments from Luna.
I'm gonna create a Luna Pavis Solcris
Reddit account.
Reddit now. Yeah, just to comment on this subreddit.
That's so funny. I'm gonna get a comment and it's just gonna be a picture of my like Badoo plushie or something. I don't even know. It's gonna be something stupid. That's so funny. I didn't know about that.
Do you have a ZeezWebG Reddit?
Wait, okay,
like an
so
official?
everyone listening,
No, I don't.
subscribe to r/ZeezWebG2 on Reddit. We need to make this the podcast subreddit, okay? If we actually
The
have
podcast.
Even though it's not even on ZeezWebG2, it's just
It
ZeezWeb.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Guys, if we get one other person other than us 3 to comment, man, or to post, that'd be amazing. Okay, we're gonna make a thriving community for at least like
Man,
1
we're
month.
social engineering the subreddit
Dude,
right here.
that I could do subreddit reviews like all those other popular YouTube channels do. Oh my gosh.
Please. I
Oh
love
my
subreddit
gosh,
reviews.
yeah.
Guys, post your memes, ZeezWebG memes, in the subreddit below, and I'll check them out.
Yo, ZeezWebG submissions. Wait, that could be the end. If someone posts on here, okay, the next episode, the end of the podcast, we're gonna stop talking about our topics. We're gonna review your guys' posts.
Yeah, we're gonna drop everything and we will review that post. Whoever posts on ZeezWebG2.
That's funny, actually. I can't believe that.
How many people watch your podcast again? It's like a 500 to like
About
around
100 an
1,000.
episode.
Yeah, so average around 100.
How many people?
okay,
How many
so
people watch all the way
two.
through?
So if any of you 100 comments on the subreddit, we will talk about. Just watch like 5
We
people
will
comment
see
on
whatever
it.
you post on here. Very
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
thoroughly.
check it out later.
I mean,
I'm very
what if
curious
multiple
about it
people
now.
post though? Like, what are we gonna do then?
I don't know. I don't think more than like a couple people is gonna post. Nobody's gonna go out of their.
Well, we
You're
are.
not gonna know that. Maybe
do that.
all 100 people that watch this podcast are gonna post.
Nah,
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, we are like okay. So here's the thing. Let's not make a mention about it in the comments or whatever. Actually, viewers can, but we shouldn't do anything. Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna
And
make
what
it.
we're gonna
Luna
do
Pavis Solcris
is we're
lips
like
are
an hour and
sealed.
15 minutes into this podcast episode. Okay. The true
Yeah.
viewers are gonna hear this. Okay, and they're gonna go to the subreddit.
Oh
Yeah,
snap!
they're gonna go to r/ZeezWebG2. You hear that right now, true viewers? r/ZeezWebG2.
Is it r/?
It's
Yeah,
r/ Emmy. Do you not go on Reddit.com very often? Are you not a Reddit frog like me?
Reddit.
No, I'm not a Reddit frog.
Reddit frog.
Reddit.
Frog.
What is happening, dude?
I only see my post so far. I thought you guys were commenting on there too.
I was gonna do it after the podcast. I'm gonna do it now.
Oh, what? I was doing it mid-podcast.
Nah, I'm not doing that right now. Not right now. I'm focused on the content, baby.
Okay, well, you guys will know the true Zeez Subreddit fan, me, would comment or post during the podcast. I don't hold anything back. Okay,
listen, I don't have that level of talent.
Yeah,
here,
RaceCar is clearly the biggest Zeez fan out of all of us here, even bigger than Zeez himself.
Did you know about the video you're gonna make in 3 years? I know.
What? No way, bro. Tell me about it.
It's gonna be the 100,000 subscriber special because you won't reach 100,000 subscribers for 3 more years. All your videos are gonna get like 500 views from now on. I'm joking.
Yeah, switching to Miraculous Ladybug really killed your view count. You spent 3 whole years recovering.
I get like 2 views, and it's like myself and you.
Not even me. Just
Luna Pavisocris only watches Zeez Subreddit 3 content. I'm done with Zeez Subreddit 2, bro.
Zeez Subreddit 2 talked about some stupid kid show.
You stop making Owl House videos. I'm unsubscribing.
No more moon stuff. Owl Moon, my aesthetic.
I guarantee if I said I'm not making Owl's videos like in a community post, I'd lose like 3,000 subscribers.
You would. You actually would.
3,000? I mean, don't you have like quite a few though?
Yeah, but I think like
you can tell I'm not a true Zeez fan. I don't even know how many subs.
Well, yeah,
my impressions of community posts get like thousands. So I feel like anybody who sees that would probably be like, yeah, I'm out.
Okay, I mean that is like probably like a month. That's probably like a few months worth of subscribers, right? Or a month?
Yeah, it depends on how active the channel is. Right now, I'm only getting about 1,000 subscribers a month, but that's only because I've only uploaded like 3 videos in the past like 3 months.
Well, I feel like the main reason for that is that one Owl House art post or art video that took like forever. You can upload more now, right?
That's true. I do need to finish the Kahoot video, which should be out in like a few days. I wanted to get it out earlier, but whatever.
Back onto the grind, Zeez. Get back onto the grind.
It is the grind. Now, you have a few more questions written down here, RaceCar. Do you want to talk about these real quick?
They are about your content. Okay, so, or about you as a content personality, I suppose. So, question about your fan base is, when you think about your Discord, are they more a fan of you or just like the Discord itself? Like, obviously originally they came for your content, but now it seems like they're their own self-contained community that you don't really have anything to do with. Sort of.
I think there's a bit of a balance there for sure. I think a lot of people, since I'm not like extremely active in the Discord, I think a lot of people have kind of just like settled into doing their own thing. But a lot of people still like look forward to like the content that I make. I think it's just really a balance. I think definitely in the beginning it was really just focused on like the content that I was making or just like Owl House Amphibia. But now the shows have ended, a lot of people like branched off into just talking about other things, other shows, other games and whatnot. So that's really about it. I mean, obviously whenever I come into the server and like chat with people are like excited to be like, hey, what's going on? What you working on now? What videos, whatnot? But I think it's definitely like a lot more kind of like fan of themselves, how you put it, nowadays, which is not necessarily a bad thing for sure. I think it's just like I think it's a solid balance, because I definitely wouldn't want a Discord server that's only like focused on the content that I make. I want it to just be like a place in the community where people can just like hang out, talk about the shows and stuff that they want. And I think that so far we've created a really good place, I feel.
Oh, absolutely. You seem to have a pretty non-toxic, pretty sustainable fan base there. And one thing, like an example, like I've been on content creator subreddits, or not subreddits, Discord servers before, and there seems like sometimes, like for an example, there's like video discussions, right? So like whenever they post anything, even like alt channels, sometimes there would be discussion over it, right? Like threads, like people are always interested in the content. Do you see video discussion ever on your subreddit or your Discord? Sorry.
I think that's a little more rare, probably because a lot of the kids are just younger, so they don't really like going to do deep dives in the video. But whenever a video does come out, there's usually a lot of people that talk about it briefly.
Especially and then on Zeez Subreddit 2, especially, right?
Yeah. No.
Does anyone ever link your other channels?
Yeah, I link the videos from this channel on the Discord, but I don't link the gaming videos because I know nobody cares about those. I don't link Fire Emblem stuff over there because I know nobody cares about that. I only really link 2 and 3.
I think RaceCar is asking if other people link them, right? Like,
yeah, if other people
fans.
do, or if you do. I mean, either way, I don't.
I usually do, but there are occasions where people will be like, "Hey, this Zeez Fudgy video is funny." Lots of people linked the Mother 3 video when I made that.
Yeah, that was pretty
funny. They
funny.
thought that was funny, and I do like that Mother 3 video, even as stupid as it is.
That kind of almost goes to my next question. It's about videos you liked. This is like a really basic question, and I swear I've asked you before, but maybe not on the podcast. Actually, like, what is your favorite video you've made so far? Like, from the perspective, like, maybe what's most fun to work on, or what would you consider a magnum opus from like an editing, scripting perspective?
Yeah, that's kind of tricky, especially since like there's so many videos out there. I definitely think there's not a single one. I don't think there's anything from the gaming channel that I'd really pick out specifically because like
sure,
a lot of those videos are just like let's plays and whatnot. They've been fun though. I don't think any of them have been not fun to make. From an editing standpoint, I think that's tough because I look at a lot of the videos and I think the second I release them, I think they're really, really good. And then I look back on them like a month later and I see so many things that I want to change that I want to make different. Like, for example, I think the Hunger Games 2 is probably like from an editing point and just like production point, it's probably the best video on Zeez Subreddit 2.
I was going to mention that like it's like the tightest video you ever made.
Yeah, except a lot of people who weren't really like fans of video games, they really just got bored of like all the references that I made in that video to like other games and whatnot, and how it just kind of interrupted the flow of the video. They felt that it interrupted the flow of the video more than it like helped it out, which is a fair criticism, you know? Like, I thought it was really good because I knew about all these things, but for people who didn't really care about like, you know, all these references, it just made no sense to them. And they're like, where's the Owl House content? I don't want to just see this random stuff. So I still think like objectively it's like not a bad video, but I think there's like a lot wrong with it as well. And I think what kind of makes me really sad about that video was the ending, because I worked really, really hard on the ending of that video. And it actually has like the least like watch time throughout that video. Like, I think only 5% of people are still watching by the ending.
The boss
even
battle?
Though I put like, the boss battle.
Oh man, that was pretty crazy. That was like so over the top, man. It reminds me of slides we used to do for a club way back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
literally
very much
Oh,
inspired off
it
of that style
reminds you
used to
of
do.
that? I need to watch
would-
that.
kinda was.
You watched the video, Luna Soulchrist. You would know, dude.
Luna Pavis, Soul Chris, thank you very much.
All right, whatever crystal red thing.
Crystal Red. That's gonna be Luna Pavis, Soul Chris username on April Fool's Day now.
Crystal red
Red
thing.
thing.
I look forward. I look forward to seeing it. But no, like literally, it was like kind of sad because like I love videos that have like a storyline and sort of like an ending to them, and that's kind of what I was going for that video, is like building up a storyline throughout it. Especially since spoilers, the same character that won in the first Owl House Hunger Games won in the second one, which was like really, really like a low chance of happening. So I thought like putting that part in there as well would make it a little more exciting, but people just didn't care. And that was what like really made me sad about that video, was because I put so much effort into like creating the storyline and nobody cared about it. But it is what it is.
I don't know, man. I think that there were sometimes I see so many like little references to events that happened, like the fishing. I don't really know.
That was all from the first one though. People, it's weird because people actually remember the first one a lot more than the second one, even though I think I finished the first one in like 8 hours, where I just spent like weeks on the second one, and it gets like much less attention.
Interesting.
Like if you look at the first one versus the second one, it's like the second one is an objectively like from an editing standpoint,
Yeah,
and like
it's
just
tight.
presentation, it's so much better.
Yeah,
But the first one, I think just has.
Yeah,
I think it's just people like the vibe of the first one more. I don't know. I think I'm not really sure, and that's why I've been like trying to find like a weird balance. And I think this next Kahoot video that I'm making it even tighter than the Hunger Games. The only issue
seriously?
is, yeah, the only issue with this video is that I think people are not gonna like it, because it's a Kahoot video, which means it like naturally has to be a slower pace, where people can like, you know, sit back, think about the questions, and try to answer them. I barely give any people like any time to like look at the questions and the answers. It's more of a video for entertainment as opposed to like a video that's supposed to, you know, actually be like an interactive quiz. And I think people are not gonna like that part about it. But I'm still gonna make it like that because it's more of a experiment, and I just can't make videos like the original Kahoots that are very slow paced anymore, because I know that they're just objectively bad, even if they get more views. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
I mean,
but
wouldn't a slower paced video that is more enjoyed by the audience technically better? I mean, so you can actually like process the content. If something's moving so fast you can't process the content, doesn't that make the video objectively bad? I mean, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm sure I kind of have an idea of what it's going to be like just off how you're describing it. And it probably, I mean, it's going to be like, from an editing and production standpoint, amazing. But like, I mean, how much time are you giving them? Like, they see the answers and they have a second, or they have like 5 seconds, you know?
It's about 3 seconds. It's not a lot, especially for answers that are like written better. But I think it's also at the same time, it's partially my burnout affecting it as well.
Sure.
Because like, if I
house content.
Yeah, and it's like at this point I just kind of want to make like an entertaining video as opposed to like a video that people would like can follow along with. Because I don't want to edit a Kahoot. I want to edit like a good video, right? And I think that's like kind of clashing against what's. And I don't know. I'm not sure how the video will be received. Some people might like it, but a lot of people, I know there's going to be 100 comments that are going to be like, I couldn't answer the questions that fast. Or like the questions were up long enough. I couldn't answer them. You gave me the answers too fast or whatever. And I know there's going to be hundreds of them already, but I've kind of just braced myself for it, and I'm just kind of going with it.
Are the answers like multi-word answers, or are they like, what character? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if it's all like,
it's multi-word and it's a choice of 4.
All that kind of stuff. Like, if it's like, oh, well, I know the answer immediately. Like, my head is as you read it, you figure it out, and it's like, oh, I don't. There are some that are quick, but there are some that are also like longer, and I really should give them more time to answer. But at the same time, it would interrupt the flow of the video, and the commentary that Tomoto and I like pre-recorded, obviously. Sometimes it's just not good. That's cool.
Yeah, he's in there too, but like sometimes the commentary is just not good, or it like isn't even like on topic, so it's like I have nothing to work with. So sometimes I'll do my own commentary over it, acting as if I'm doing it for the first time because I just think like the commentary is so bad. So you could probably tell in the video. I think the video's like kind of been a mess to edit, but at the same time, it's more just like I need to get this done. I need to get it out there so I can move on to other things. But I think like from an entertainment perspective, it's going to be a good video. I just think from the quiz perspective, it's going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to strike a balance between like the audience of the quiz and the audience who's watching the video. I don't know. So, I mean, like it's got to be enjoyable for both of them, but I feel like for you, probably the more important one at times is the audience that's watching the video, because that's where you get your money, your views, you know? So I don't know.
And I think because it's going to be so tightly edited, I'm almost wondering, like, is this going to keep up audience retention? It's kind of an experiment as well for like future things. Like if I ever do like the Miraculous Ladybug era, like I'd probably do like a Kahoot for that as well. And like I already know that video would get mad views. A Miraculous Ladybug Kahoot, dude, like nobody's done that before probably. It would get mad views.
Do it.
I guarantee that'll get me a million views. Especially if it's like tightly edited too. So I can kind of experiment with this where I can look at the audience retention for like the slower paced Kahoot versus the fast one. So
Zeez, if you make a Miraculous Ladybug Kahoot and you make good money off of it, we can go on more coaster trips. So do it.
That's true. I actually, a part of the reason why I'm like trying to earn more money is so I can get more opportunities, because I'm like, my finances are pretty like stagnant. Like I'm just kind of like neutral, but I'm trying to gain more.
I know.
I'm trying to make more money.
We had this discussion actually, like IRL.
We did, yeah.
A while ago.
We did.
So, no, absolutely you should. And speaking of videos that I don't know will do good or not, you have a video that you told me about a while ago, and I've not seen it yet, okay? And I just, for the dear listeners that are on this podcast, you get a sneak peek on this. What is the status of your Alvin and the Chipmunks movie that shouldn't be made for kids video? How's that going?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if this was on the podcast or off the podcast, because sometimes we talk after we do these podcasts a little bit.
I don't think you talked about it on.
Yeah, I don't think it was either, but I planned to make a video on Alvin and the Chipmunks, and it's called like, it's a movie, not a show. It's the movie Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's like, I think it's called like Trip Around the World or something like that. And what it is like Alvin, the Chipmunks, and the Chipettes, which are like the girl version of the Chipmunks, they race around the world in these hot air balloons, and they go to like different countries and whatnot, and they basically do that. They race around the world and they do things at each place. And it's a movie made for kids, obviously. I think it was made by like Disney and whatever. And
is this like an animated movie, or
yeah, it's animated
because there's a lot of variations.
It's one of the older ones, right?
It's one of the older ones.
One of the older ones. Okay.
Yeah, if you think about like Alvin and the Chipmunks, I think it's 1982.
Wow,
I can look it up real fast.
That's old Disney.
Yeah,
Disney,
I'm pretty
right?
sure it's 82. Well, I thought it was made by them. I don't know, but you know, if you think about like Alvin and the Chipmunks,
it's Universal.
Now, it's always the CG.
It's Universal.
It's 1980. Okay, it's 1987. 1987. My bad. It's called The Chipmunk Adventure. That's right. And you know, if you think about like chipmunk movies, like now, most people probably think about like the CGI chipmunks, but no, this is like full on animated, like the old style chipmunks from the 80s.
Yeah. So this was just one of those Universal Studios chipmunks, right? I'm trying to remember. That's the studio they're from, right?
I don't even know. Production company Bagdasarian Productions, which I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Anyway, the content of the movie, it's like a pretty like, you know, themed around like a kids movie. You know, it's kids for enjoy it, but at the same time, there's like a lot of like cultural appropriation. And some of the treatment of the female cast is definitely not great. It's like when you watch the movie, it's like, oh my gosh, what? They let this happen? Like it would definitely not fly at all these days. And I feel like nobody's talked about this movie, right? And like
I feel like it's ancient. That's probably another reason why, but...
Well, maybe, but it's just like, you know, people always like talk about old movies that just, like, you know, it's like a good example is like the Peter Pan movie, you know, like the Indians or whatever, and like how pretty culturally offensive, and I feel like that's kind of the case nowadays, where like people, you know, back then they cared less about like, you know, presenting things like this correct, and I feel like this is another example of a movie where people didn't really care about it back then and just kind of use like stereotypes or worse. It's like, and I kind of just thought about titling the video like a kids movie that kids should never watch or something like that. So it'd be like a very fascinating title.
But this movie should not have been made for kids.
Right. And it's like, I think when I was younger, I didn't really like pay attention to that stuff because you just didn't really know. But now that we're like more wise and older, like and like in the generation that we are now, where we care a lot more about these things, it's definitely like pretty wild and out there when you watch the movie. So I wanted to just kind of make a topic about that. I feel like it would definitely help me out being a little more critical. VZ.2, yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm trying to like work on my criticism as well. Another reason why I want to try Miraculous Ladybug, since, you know, the writing isn't really that great. I feel like it helped me work on my analysis / being more critical about things. Because a lot of the
I could totally help you with that.
That's true. I could reach out to you, but I feel like I feel like I'm okay at like analyzing like what deeper meanings are behind some things, but I feel like I'm really bad at like criticism, and I feel like I could.
I kind of agree a little bit.
I feel like I definitely need to improve my skills there, and I feel like Miraculous Ladybug, with like the poor writing, it would help me out.
I would 100% watch Miraculous Ladybug with you if it was to like criticize it, because I need like an excuse to like start doing stuff like this, because I really wanted to do it for a while.
I mean,
like
we can look into something
that's
like
coming
that
soon, guys. That's totally coming.
You got to do the raw materials first, Emmy. Come on.
So
raw materials first,
right, Emmy, by Sunday.
By Sunday, oh my gosh.
Yeah, maybe in 2025.
Well, ramen, the utensils tier list or fork tier list is coming out by Sunday at least, right?
Come on, dude. We need to see it.
Okay, I will make a fork tier list by Sunday, but it won't be good.
Okay, so you go to the tier list generator, like you know, like there's the tier list websites, right? You can generate your own tier list.
I'm gonna go to the tier list website and just pull a bunch of forks from Amazon
OBS,
and start reviewing
use your microphone, just screen record, and just commentate like where you're putting your utensils. And that's the video.
It'd be better if I bought them all, but I'm feeling
do
buying.
like a Linus Tech Tip, like the rotating thing with like
Linus
the backlit.
Teach Tips.
You have like the rotating table. You have like the perfectly like lit up like setup, like the white background.
Yeah, just
hey guys,
for,
it's me,
just for
Linus
these
from
forks.
Linus Teach
Just
Tips.
for these forks.
Dude, did you know that?
I can't believe you didn't call him Linus Teach Tips, bro. Like, come on.
Okay, fine.
Linus, fake podcast fan.
What was this controversy recently?
Wait, what did he do? I don't even know, bro.
There was a controversy.
Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin took over his channel or whatever. Is that what you said?
I don't remember. Anyways, so
that was what you said, Emmy, right? Like that Bitcoin took over his channel for a bit.
There was another controversy that happened more recently, but I'm not going to mention that here.
I don't know about Linus Teach Tips moments. I just know Linus Teach Tips is Linus Teach Tips.
About Linus Teach Tips, I didn't know that Zeez is Linus Teach Tips, dude. You have the little rotating table thingy.
I do actually.
You have one of those. I saw your setup, man, and I didn't realize you had one of those rotating tables. When are we getting some tech videos?
Well, actually, it was only used for an unboxing video.
You can help me fix my computer that exploded.
I only used it in one video. It was for a freaking unboxing video of Marth Fire Emblem.
How long ago was that?
No, come on, Zeez. You gotta help me with my computer. Come on, restart Linus Teach Tips.
You're in a different state.
It's Zeez. It's Zeez Teach Tips.
No, Zeez Teach Tips would be the worst Teach Tips.
Another channel, which is just a tech channel. Oh my god. You need more channels, Zeez. You don't have enough.
Oh, 6 is enough, bro? Okay. I'll get another one out there, bro.
Zeez. You gotta have more.
Zeez Teach Tips. It'll literally just
prime for the algorithm.
Dude, people are already confused enough with the channels. They're gonna see Zeez Teach Tips and be like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah, and it'll be headed by Luna Pavis Soulcrest.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally gonna review just so bad. Like, this, guys, is the phone. It turns on with this button.
It's the phone, guys. It's the phone.
It's fast enough.
It's the phone. Not even a smartphone, just the phone.
You guys have been asking how fast is it? I can't call anyone, so I'm sure the calls are good. But my SIM card doesn't work, guys. All right, that's the phone.
No, literally, they're gonna be like, so I got some questions about the phone. How fast is it? It's fast enough.
It's faster than the phone. You know,
it's like, how's the does it break? I throw it against the wall. It's like, well, it's not broken, so it's got to be good.
It's like it's all cracked.
It'll probably break if you try it enough. That's
is it waterproof? Let's see. I throw it into a bucket. Oh, it's not waterproof, guys. It's not turning on. Right, it's just complete trash content. It's just complete trash content. But it's ironically trash, which is why it would be funny.
No, I just imagine you just eating while reviewing one of these sims. Sorry, gosh, I'm reviewing.
Dude, I literally did that in my Ben 10 Racing video. Do you not remember Ben 10 Racing? I showed you guys that before.
I watched I think I have seen your Ben 10 Racing.
I remember that vaguely.
My Ben 10 Galactic Racing video, bro.
I think I've seen it.
The greatest video I've ever made. You know what? I take it back. Race Car. When you said my favorite, when you asked me what my favorite video game video was I made, it's Ben 10 Racing.
Fair enough.
That's my favorite video. That's the best video. If anybody ever wants to see my magnum opus video, it's Ben 10 Galactic Racing video. That's it. 100%.
There will never be a video that's better than it.
No, that's literally the best content I've ever made. It's perfect. It's perfect in literally every way. Either way, though, are we good? I think this is a good spot to end the old podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I need to remind everyone, please go to r/ZeezVobG2 on Reddit and post if you saw this episode and make something funny. It doesn't have to be funny. You could actually tell us about a story about your life, and we'll react to it live next time.
Bro, you literally said post something funny. It doesn't have to be funny.
You can post anything. Make it about your life. Post a picture of your animal. Post a meme that you think is really cool, and we'll be critical of it. And we'll say that you're not funny.
Guys, yeah.
And
we'll trash you for sending a Gen Alpha meme to us.
Yeah, what are you, Gen Alpha? Brain rot. Skibidi dee ba 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 ba.
Anyway, guys, that seems like a great spot to end the podcast. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to RaceCar and Emmy for joining me. As always, it's awesome talking with you two. And I guess I'll see you all later. Hope you have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.